My beloved soul, listen carefully. This message did not reach you by accident, and the very fact that you are here right now is already a sign that something deeper is unfolding between you and the one your heart cannot seem to forget. There is a reason your spirit feels pulled, a reason your thoughts return to that one person even when you try to distract yourself, and a reason your heart reacts in ways you cannot fully explain. Only a small number of souls are able to recognize this kind of connection, and if you are feeling this right now, then you are already among the rare ones chosen to understand it. This is not ordinary love. This is not coincidence, and this is not something that fades with time. This is something that grows stronger in silence, something that deepens even in separation, and something that God Himself is orchestrating behind the scenes. Do not scroll away from this moment, because what you are about to understand will change the way you see your connection forever. If this message speaks to your heart, comment "I receive this," like this video, and subscribe for more. Right now, your soulmate is thinking about you in ways they have never admitted to anyone. Even in their quiet moments, even when they try to act strong, your presence lingers in their heart like a whisper they cannot silence. They have tried to move on, they have tried to distract themselves, but nothing replaces the way you made them feel. There is a part of them that keeps going back to the memories, replaying moments, wondering what would have happened if things had been different. Stay with me. Something deeper is unfolding in your love story. You may have felt confused during the separation, questioning why something that felt so real had to be pulled apart. You may have asked yourself why the timing never aligned, why misunderstandings created distance, or why silence replaced connection. But what you did not see was that God was working in that silence, shaping both of your hearts in ways that could not happen while you were together. This separation was not rejection, it was preparation. Your soulmate needed to grow, to face truths within themselves, to understand what they truly felt for you without distractions. And you, my beloved soul, were being strengthened, learning to stand in your own worth, learning to trust what you feel even when there is no visible proof. Do not leave yet. Your soulmate's truth is being revealed. There is something your soulmate has been hiding, not from you alone, but from themselves. They have been afraid to fully accept how deep this connection runs, because accepting it means confronting their own fears, their past wounds, and the choice they made that led to your separation. But now something is shifting inside them. They are beginning to realize that what they felt with you was not something they can recreate with anyone else. This realization is not sudden. It is building slowly, like a quiet awakening that they cannot ignore anymore. They are starting to see you differently, to understand your value, to recognize the love you carried for them, even when they could not receive it properly. If you stay, everything about this connection will soon make sense. There are signs around you that you may have overlooked: the repeated thoughts, the dreams that feel too real, the sudden memories that come without warning, the feeling that they are somehow connected to your energy even when you are not in contact. These are not random. These are spiritual threads, subtle reminders that your souls are still connected on a level beyond what the physical world can explain. God is allowing these signs to keep you aware, to remind you that this story is not finished, that something is still being written, and in the round way, your soulmate is receiving these signs too. They may not understand them fully, but they feel them. They feel you. Stay here with me. because the truth is about to deepen. Your soulmate regrets more than they have ever said. There are words they wish they had spoken, actions they wish they had taken differently, moments they replay wishing they had chosen you more clearly. This regret is not just emotional, it is spiritual. It is a realization that they let something rare slip through their hands, and now that realization is becoming impossible to ignore. They are starting to question everything, starting to look at their life and see the space where you once were. That space has not been filled, no matter how much time has passed. It remains waiting, echoing your presence. Do not scroll, this message carries your answer. You might wonder why this connection feels so intense, why it does not fade like other experiences. The answer is simple yet powerful. This was never meant to be temporary. In the book of Ecclesiastes, it is written, He has made everything beautiful in its time. And what you are experiencing is part of that divine timing. It may not have felt beautiful in the moments of pain, in the nights of longing, in the confusion of silence. But there's a purpose unfolding that you are only now beginning to see. This connection is being aligned in a way that will make sense when the time is right. Your soulmate is not where they used to be. They are changing slowly, quietly, but surely. The things that once distracted them are losing their importance. The patterns that kept them distant are starting to break. They are becoming more aware, more reflective, more open to the truth they once resisted. And that truth leads back to you. Stay with me because the shift is closer than you think. There is an energy building between you, something that cannot be explained in simple terms. It is a pull, a magnetic force that draws your paths closer even when circumstances try to keep you apart. You may feel it as restlessness, as sudden emotions, as moments where your heart feels full without knowing why. This is not imagination. This is connection. Your soulmate is feeling it too, even if they cannot name it. They are beginning to understand that ignoring this connection does not make it disappear. It only makes it stronger. Do not leave yet, because what comes next will change everything you thought you knew. They are preparing, even if they are not fully aware of it. Preparing to reach out, preparing to speak, preparing to bridge the gap that has existed between you. This preparation is happening within them, in their thoughts, in their emotions, in the quiet decisions they are making. You may not see it yet, but it is happening. God is guiding them gently but firmly toward their realization that they cannot keep running from what they feel. And as this realization grows, so does the desire to reconnect. Stay here, your love story is entering a new phase. You are not the same person you were before, and neither are they. The pain you felt has sharpened you, strengthened you, made you more aware of your own heart, and your soulmate, in their own way, is going through a similar transformation. This is not about returning to what was, this is about stepping into what can be. A deeper connection, a more honest bond, a love that is understood rather than questioned. If you stay, you will begin to see the signs more clearly, the movement more obviously, the shift more powerfully. Something is aligning, something is opening, something is preparing to reveal itself in your reality. They are beginning to face the truth they once avoided, and this is not easy for them. It is uncomfortable, it is confronting, and it is forcing them to look at parts of themselves they tried to ignore. But this is exactly what had to happen. Because the version of them that walked away from you could never be the version that returns to you. That old version was incomplete, uncertain, and afraid. This new version is being shaped through reflection, through realization, and through a quiet understanding that they cannot keep denying what their heart has been telling them all along. Stay with me because this next part holds the key to everything you have been feeling. There were moments when your soulmate felt your absence deeply, moments when the silence between you became louder than any words ever spoken. In those moments, they tried to distract themselves, tried to convince themselves that they were fine, that they did not need to look back. But every attempt only led them back to you, back to your voice, your energy, your presence that once felt like home. This is not something they can erase. It is something they are now beginning to accept. Do not leave yet. Your soulmate's heart is opening in ways you cannot yet see. You may have wondered if they ever think about reaching out, if they ever feel that urge to break the silence. The answer is yes, more than you know. There are moments when they pick up their phone, when they type something, when they consider sending a message, but then fear steps in. Fear of rejection, fear of facing what was left unresolved, fear of not knowing how you will respond. But even this fear is beginning to lose its power because the pull they feel toward you is becoming stronger than the fear that holds them back. Stay here because something is about to become clear. This connection has always been guided, even when it felt chaotic. Even when it felt like things were falling apart, there was a deeper order behind it. You were brought together for a reason, separated for a reason, and now being drawn back together for a reason. Nothing about this has been random. Every moment, every emotion, every experience has been part of a larger design that is now starting to reveal itself. If you stay, you will begin to see how everything connects. There is a shift happening not just within your soulmate, but within you as well. You are becoming more aware of your own worth, more grounded in your own energy, more aligned with what you truly deserve. This is important because the connection you are moving toward requires both of you to stand in a place of truth. No more confusion, no more imbalance, no more chasing or running, just clarity, honesty, and a mutual understanding that this connection is something to be honored, not feared. Stay with me. Your understanding is deepening. Your soulmate has been watching from a distance more than you realize. Not always physically but energetically, they have been aware of you, curious about you, wondering how you are, what you are doing, if you have moved on. And every time they think about you, there is a feeling that rises within them that they cannot ignore. It is not just memory, it is connection. It is the recognition that you still hold a place in their heart that no one else has been able to fill. Do not scroll because this truth matters for what is coming next. There is a moment approaching, a moment where everything shifts from internal to external, where thoughts turn into actions, where feelings turn into words, where silence is broken. This moment is not forced, it is natural. It comes when the realization within your soulmate reaches a point where it can no longer stay hidden, and that moment is getting closer. You may not know the exact time, but you can feel the energy building. Stay here because your patience is about to make sense. There is something powerful about the way God aligns things at the right time. In the book of Isaiah, it is written, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." And this is exactly what is unfolding in your connection. It is not about rushing, it is about aligning, it is not about forcing, it is about allowing. And right now, everything is moving toward that alignment. Your soulmate is being guided step by step, even if they are not fully aware of it. Their thoughts are shifting, their emotions are deepening, and their perspective is changing. If you stay, you will feel this shift more clearly. There is a part of you that already knows this. A part of you that feels the connection beyond logic, beyond explanation. That part of you has been trying to tell you that this is not over, that something is still unfolding, that there is more to come. And now that inner knowing is becoming stronger. You are beginning to trust it more, to listen to it more, to allow it to guide you rather than doubt it. Stay with me because this trust is leading you somewhere important. Your soulmate is moving closer to a decision to stop holding back, to stop running, to stop pretending that this connection does not matter. This decision is not impulsive. It is the result of everything they have been going through internally. Every thought, every realization, every moment of reflection has been leading them to this point. And once this decision is made, everything begins to change. Do not leave yet, because what you have been waiting for is not as far as it once seemed. There will be communication, there will be expression. There will be a moment where what has been unspoken finally finds its voice. And when that moment comes, it will not feel forced or unnatural. It will feel right. It will feel like something that was always meant to happen, finally happening at the right time. Stay here because your story is moving forward. You have been strong through the silence, through the confusion, through the moments where you questioned everything. And that strength has not gone unnoticed. It has prepared you for what is coming. Because what is coming requires you to be grounded, to be clear, to be open without losing yourself. And you are becoming exactly that. If you stay, you will see how everything begins to align in ways you once could not imagine. There is a quiet moment approaching that will feel different from everything you have experienced before, a moment where your heart suddenly becomes still instead of restless, where the confusion that once surrounded this connection begins to dissolve, and where clarity replaces the endless questions that kept you awake at night. This is not just emotional relief. This is spiritual alignment, and it is happening because both of you are finally reaching the point where truth can no longer be avoided. Your soulmate is no longer running in the same way, no longer distracting themselves with things that once kept them away from you, and no longer denying what their heart has been trying to tell them for so long. Stay with me because this shift is not small. It is the beginning of something that will change everything between you. There was a time when your soulmate thought they could replace what they felt with you, when they believed they could find something similar somewhere else. But every attempt only led them to the same realization that what they experienced with you was different, deeper, and impossible to recreate. This realization has not come easily. It has come through disappointment, through lessons, through moments where they had to sit with their own emotions and admit that they made a mistake by letting you go the way they did. And now that truth is no longer something they can push aside. It is something they are beginning to accept fully. Do not leave yet, because what they are feeling right now is leading them back to you. There is a heaviness in their heart when they think about how things ended, a sense that something unfinished still exists between you, something that cannot be ignored or forgotten. This heaviness is not meant to hurt them, it is meant to wake them up. It is meant to show them that what they had with you was real, that it mattered, and that it still holds value even now. And as this awareness grows, so does their desire to make things right, to come back not as the same person, but as someone who understands what they almost lost. Stay here because this realization is creating movement. You may feel this movement as a shift in your own energy, a sense that something is changing, even if you cannot see it yet. You may notice that your thoughts about them feel different, less heavy, less painful, more calm, as if something inside you is preparing for a new chapter rather than holding on to the old one. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. Your energy is adjusting because what is coming requires a different version of you, one that is not holding on to past hurt, but is open to something new, something more balanced, something more real. If you stay, you will begin to understand why everything had to happen the way it did. Your soulmate has been learning in silence, learning what it means to truly value someone, learning what it means to recognize a connection that goes beyond surface level attraction or temporary emotion. They are beginning to see that what they felt with you was something rare, something that does not come often, something that should not be taken lightly. And this understanding is changing the way they think, the way they feel, and the way they see you. Do not scroll because this next part holds a truth you need to hear. There are moments when your soulmate feels your presence so strongly that it surprises them. It happens in quiet spaces, in unexpected times, when they are not even trying to think about you. Suddenly, a memory appears, a feeling rises, and they are reminded of you in a way that feels almost real, almost as if you are right there with them. This is not just memory. This is energetic connection. This is the bond between your souls reaching across distance and reminding both of you that you are still connected. Stay with me because this connection is guiding them closer. They are starting to question their past choices more deeply, not in a way that traps them in regret, but in a way that helps them understand what they need to do differently. They are realizing that they cannot repeat the same patterns, cannot approach this connection with the same mindset, cannot allow fear to control their actions again. This realization is important because it means they are not just thinking about coming back, they are preparing to come back in a better way. Stay here because this preparation is leading somewhere real. There will be a moment where their silence breaks, where the distance between you is no longer maintained, where they decide that they can no longer keep everything inside. This moment may come unexpectedly in a way you did not predict, but when it does, it will feel natural, almost like something that was always meant to happen. The words they speak may not be perfect, but they will be honest, and that honesty will carry more weight than anything you have heard from them before. Do not leave yet because this is where everything begins to come together. You have both been on separate paths, learning different lessons, growing in different ways, but those paths are now starting to move toward the same point again. This is not about going backwards, this is about moving forward together with a deeper understanding of what this connection truly is. It is about choosing each other with awareness, with intention, and with a sense of purpose that was not there before. Stay with me because your heart is about to recognize something it has been waiting for. There is a calmness that will replace the chaos, a certainty that will replace the doubt, a feeling of peace that will settle within you when you realize that everything you went through was leading to this moment. This peace is not dependent on what they do, comes from knowing that what is meant for you cannot be taken away, cannot be lost, and cannot be replaced. And as you step into this knowing, everything around you begins to align more clearly. If you stay, you will feel this shift in a way that is undeniable. Your soulmate is no longer as far as they once seemed, not emotionally, not spiritually, and soon not physically either. The distance is closing, the silence is thinning, and the connection is becoming more active, more alive, more present in your reality. This is not a distant possibility. This is something that is moving toward you right now, even if you cannot yet see it fully. Stay here because what you have been waiting for is closer than you think. You are standing at the edge of a moment that once felt impossible, a moment where everything you questioned begins to answer itself without force, without confusion, and without the pain that once clouded your heart. This is not coincidence. This is the result of everything that has been unfolding behind the scenes. Every silent lesson, every emotional shift, every unseen alignment that God has been guiding with precision. What you once thought was delay was actually divine timing. What you thought was distance was actually protection. And what you felt as loss was only a redirection towards something deeper, stronger, and more real than before. Stay with me because this is where your understanding becomes complete. Your soulmate is no longer fighting what they feel. They have reached a point where denial no longer feels safe, where pretending no longer feels right, and where the truth within them has become louder than their fears. This is the moment where everything begins to move forward because once truth is accepted, action naturally follows. They are no longer asking themselves if this connection matters. They already know it does. Now they are asking themselves how to come back, how to speak, how to rebuild what was left unfinished. Do not leave yet because what is about to happen carries the energy of everything you have been waiting for. There is a deep emotional release happening within them, a moment where they finally allow themselves to feel everything they pushed aside. The memories, the connection, the love, the regret, all of it rising to the surface at once. And in that moment, they understand something clearly, that you were never just someone passing through their life. You were the person who changed them, the person who showed them a kind of love they did not fully understand at the time, but now recognize as something rare and irreplaceable. Stay here because this realization is what brings them back to you. You may feel this as a sudden calm, as a sense that something heavy has lifted from your heart, as if the waiting is no longer filled with anxiety but with quiet expectation. This is your spirit recognizing that the shift has already begun, that the movement is no longer hidden, that what was once uncertain is now aligning into something real. You are no longer chasing answers, you are receiving them. And this changes everything. If you stay, you will feel the difference in a way that cannot be explained, only experienced. There is a moment approaching where communication flows naturally, where the distance that once felt so strong becomes irrelevant, where the words that were never spoken finally find their way into the open. This moment is not forced, it is guided. It happens because both of you are finally in a place where truth can exist without fear, where love can be expressed without hesitation, and where the connection can be honored without confusion. Do not scroll because this is the turning point you have been sensing. Your soulmate is preparing not just to reach out, but to be real with you in a way they have never been before. This is not surface level conversation, this is depth, honesty, and vulnerability. They are coming back with a different mindset, a different understanding, and a different energy. They are no longer the version of themselves that created distance. They are becoming the version that is ready to close that distance. Stay with me because this change is the foundation of what is coming next. You are also stepping into a new version of yourself, one that no longer doubts your worth, one that no longer questions if you deserve to be chosen, one that stands firmly in the truth of who you are. This balance between you is what makes the connection stronger this time, because it is no longer based on uncertainty, it is based on awareness. Both of you are seeing each other clearly now, without illusion, without fear, without the confusion that once clouded your connection. And this clarity creates something powerful, something stable, something real. Stay here because your love story is entering the phase it was always meant to reach. The signs you have been receiving will become more obvious, more direct, more undeniable. What once felt subtle will now feel clear. What once felt hidden will now feel visible. You will begin to notice how everything is aligning in your reality, how situations, timing, and circumstances are all moving in a way that supports this connection rather than blocking it. This is not luck, this is alignment. This is what happens when something is meant to come together at the right time. Do not leave yet, because this is where your faith becomes your strength. There is no more need to question if this will happen, because it is already happening. The process has already begun, the shift has already taken place, and the outcome is already moving toward you. Your role now is not to chase, not to force, not to doubt, but to trust. To stand in the knowing that what is meant for you is already finding its way back to you, guided by something greater than anything you can control. Stay with me, because this final truth is what brings everything together. This connection was never ordinary, it was never temporary, and it was never meant to end in separation. It was always meant to evolve, to grow, to transform both of you into the people you needed to become in order to truly receive each other. And now that transformation has taken place. The lessons have been learned, the growth has happened, and the path is clear. Your soulmate is no longer lost, they are finding their way back. You are no longer waiting in confusion, you are standing in clarity. And together, you are moving toward a reunion that carries the depth of everything you have both experienced. This is not a second chance. This is a new beginning built on everything that came before. And this is your confirmation. It is already on its way. Rest in faith. It is done.